Welcome, everyone, to the WION podcast. We're doing a quick deep dive today into something pretty specific, a recent discovery that's definitely raising some eyebrows.
That's right. It involves something really tiny, but it could have a surprisingly big impact.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It started with a black bear.
It did. Out in Pennsylvania, scientists were examining a wild black bear and found these parasitic worms in its eyes.
In its eyes. Okay, that's immediately attention-grabbing.
Definitely. Now, finding parasites in wildlife isn't, totally unheard of, but these worms were different.
How so?
Well, they're really small, less than 2 centimeters, and it's the first time this specific type of eye worm has been confirmed in a wild animal here in the U.S.
Okay, so up first, and you said eye worms. Do they cause problems?
They certainly can. They're from the genus Thelazia, and they cause a condition called thelaziosis.
Thelaziosis, right?
Yeah, it affects the eyes, obviously. Causes irritation, inflammation, sometimes, in bad cases, even blindness.
And have we seen these Thalazia worms before, maybe in pets?
We've seen related types, yes, in dogs and cats sometimes. But this specific one, Thelazia californiensis, showing up in a wild U.S. black bear, that's new.
Okay, so how does it get around? From a bear to potentially other animals or even us?
Ah, that's the really interesting part. It needs help. It uses flies as a vector.
Flies, like house flies.
Certain kinds, flies that are attracted to, well, the moisture around mammals' eyes, tears, secretions, that sort of thing.
Okay.
So a fly lands on an infected bear's eye, maybe feeds on the tears, and it picks up the worm larva, tiny microscopic larvae.
Right, so the fly isn't just annoying, it's actually transporting the parasite.
Exactly, like a taxi service, as you put it before we started. The larvae develop a bit inside the fly.
Yeah.
Then when that same fly lands near the eye of another animal, could be another bear, could be a dog wandering nearby, could even be a person.
Oh, wow.
The larvae actually move out of the fly's mouth parts and onto the new host's eye, and then they grow into adult worms there.
That is quite a journey. And finding this in a black bear specifically, what does that suggest? Bears cover a lot of ground.
That's a really key point. It suggests that bears, maybe other large wildlife too, could be acting as a reservoir for this parasite in the environment.
A reservoir, meaning like a long-term host where the parasite can just live and reproduce.
Precisely. The bear might not even be severely ill from it, but it carries the worms, keeping the parasite population going.
And because the bear moves around, it potentially spreads the source of the infection over a wider area.
That's the implication, yes. So flies in that wider area can then pick up the larvae from the bear.
And potentially transfer them to pets, or like you said, maybe even people who are hiking or just living in those areas.
Exactly. It highlights a connection we might not have really seen before between wildlife health and, well, the health of domestic animals and even public health.
So something so small, carried by flies, feeding on tears, potentially moving from wildlife like black bears into pets and possibly even us.
It's a discovery that really highlights how connected we are to the natural world and the surprises it can hold.
Absolutely. It
Yeah.
really makes you think about what else might be out there, these kinds of hidden connections. Well, that's all we have time for on this deep dive. Stay tuned for more such intriguing stories to come.